Being alone is one of the hardest things a human being can do and get used to. But it's only by being with yourself that you bring out better ideas and plans, or a deeper understanding of your own self. That's why I want to share the 5 lessons that can help you appreciate solitude more. So let's get to the point. You will feel anguish, but it's better than feeling disappointment. When you're alone, it's normal for a sense of anguish to appear now and then. A feeling that will make you think about how others don't even think about you. That will make you reflect that you're not interesting enough for people to pay attention to. In short, there will be more and more negative thoughts about yourself. But most of this won't be true. In reality, this anguish will only reveal the lies you feed yourself about who you are. Because you'll think you're uninteresting. You'll feel there's something wrong with you. You'll see yourself as weak and forgotten. And maybe this is the reason you're alone. Not to value yourself, but to despise what you think you are. You devalue the illusion of what you think you are without understanding the reality of your existence. And this explains your insecurities, the traumas that have been strengthened, and the very anguish inside you. And there are 2 messages you should take from this. The first, the more you see reality, the less sadness you'll feel. Because the more you understand yourself, the more control you'll have to correct your lack of strength and reasoning. Second, despite feeling that anguish, despite the illusions you'll have to face alone, it will still be better than the disappointment someone can cause you. This is because anguish can be uncomfortable. However, it will hide the facts about you, and through that, you'll be able to discover for yourself, through self-knowledge, the truth. Now, disappointment is just someone who made you lose time and even took something that belonged to you, maybe even your heart, which will break. So, even though you'll feel anguish and even though you'll have difficulty going through this process of healing and clarity, to see what is real and what isn't, it's still, despite the complexity of your existence, better than the unnecessary and childish disappointments. And this security will build the moment you decide to stay in your solitude, studying and dealing with your anguish, rather than continuing to waste time with totally mediocre and fake people. Be mindful of what people do and feel happy you're not with them. Have you ever seen someone make a big mistake and thought, "Wow, thank God that's not me"? Or maybe you saw someone you interacted with before, harming not only themselves but others around them and reflected, "I'm so glad I stayed away from this person, otherwise, it would have been me who got hurt too." Have you ever experienced situations like this? Well, sometimes in life, we get out of trouble simply because we observed better who was around us, and we distanced ourselves upon realizing the risks. And it's great when this type of situation happens because, over time, you realize you made the right decision and matured in the face of the problem you escaped. Therefore, when you're alone, you shouldn't just focus on yourself and your goals, but sometimes observe what those around you are doing. Because depending on how they live, you'll realize how much you've evolved in comparison to others' mediocrity. And not only that, but from others' mistakes, you can learn which paths are better to follow and which attitudes to avoid. Of course, you won't just observe the mediocre ones. You should also observe those who are more mature and evolved so you can absorb a little of their rhythm and mindset, not to copy them, but to be inspired by their exemplary behaviors. What's left is you. One day, you might meet someone really cool, an interesting person who will talk with you for hours, giving you attention and making you naturally pay attention to them. They will capture your interest because they're full of virtues and ideas, but there are cases where you'll only talk to such a person for a day and never see them again. You'll talk for a day, a week, a month, but it won't last long. And it won't end because they betrayed you or disappointed you or lied, it'll end because it was a moment, a natural occurrence. Life is full of these moments, where it presents you with incredible situations and people but then quickly takes them away. And what do I want to say and comment on this fact? Well, what I want to say is that despite everything, what's left is you. This ephemerality, even in good things, proves that in the end, you only have yourself. Even your parents, unfortunately, will pass away one day. And I know that some people, unconsciously, get married and have children so they don't feel alone when their parents die. Of course, that's not the only reason they marry and have kids, but it's an influence. In other words, people live trying to escape the act of being alone, trying to escape this ephemerality, but how can they escape? Even the child, after turning 18, will spend less and less time with their father and mother, to the point where they may only see them once a year. Anyway, everything passes, and I'm not saying this so you don't get attached to anything. I'm just commenting so you understand and don't get frustrated when people leave your life, and you realize you're alone. Because in the end, what's left is you. And if you understand this, you'll certainly have a calmer life, a life where you won't fear losses and will enjoy moments when possible. Your consciousness must be trained daily. The day you don't train your consciousness will certainly be a wasted day, a day without reflection, without interpretation, without observation, and without analysis. It will certainly be a day that shouldn't be counted because you didn't take advantage of your potential at all. After all, what do you think you've planted when you simply spent the entire day talking aimlessly, distracting yourself, and not doing anything important, only feeling boredom or laziness? You didn't plant anything, you didn't even use your energy. You just lived those moments and went to bed with all your energy full because there was no expenditure. You didn't do exemplary tasks, not even the necessary ones. Therefore, your day was useless. And don't come and say you rested, because if you spent the day without training your mind, then what rest is that, when all your energy is still full? Anyway, you don't need to read half a book every day or make dozens of analyses daily, overloading your brain. But at least read a little every day, interpret the information you observe, and most importantly, talk to yourself. Are you feeling uncomfortable? Do you miss someone? Do you have a problem? Then sit somewhere calm where you have privacy and talk to yourself. Tell yourself what you're feeling, and let your speech and thoughts flow. Some people think that's crazy, but isn't it by talking to yourself that you'll understand what's going on inside you? Isn't it by speaking to your consciousness that you'll find solutions and ideas to solve your problems? Well, if they think talking to yourself is crazy, then I prefer to be crazy. Take care of what you have, even the small details. Take care of what belongs to you, even if it's something basic. After all, there are people who buy a pen and lose it right away. They wear glasses, but the lens is already all scratched because they keep dropping it. They buy a cell phone, and the screen is cracked. Seriously, don't people have any love for what they buy and earn? But it's just a pen, but it's just the lens of a pair of glasses. Well, but besides that costing money, especially the lens, it's something that belongs to you. And if you don't take care of what belongs to you, how will you take care of the rest of your life? If you can't even take care of a pen or drop your glasses all the time, how cautious will you be in critical and decisive moments of life? You might think that's not important, but this basic care for basic things is what will sustain your more cautious behavior in critical moments. Because I bet a person who loses a pen all the time isn't ready to raise a child, where they'll have to pay attention to thousands of details, you see? Therefore, for your life to work, in which you're alone, it's essential to take real care of what you have. Don't leave your books lying on the floor. Don't keep dropping your phone. Don't scratch the walls of your house. Take care of what's yours. It may seem trivial, but this is what will bring you a bit more maturity, as you'll understand that what belongs to you and is useful to you must last and be preserved, no matter the value. Well, I hope this message has helped you. And if you liked the video, please leave a like. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. It really helps, and it doesn't cost anything. Alright? Thanks a lot for your attention. I'm Baruti the Blue Koala, and see you next time.